I will be speaking about study track 6, which has been offered together with from the University of Athens and the University of Tübingen. Reinhard just said about it. So we will try to develop a pathway to understand, to gain knowledge about climate change. The semester starts in Athens, in the center of the city, and also in the North Campus where the university has been located. And we will go through a number of courses. The first one has to do about climate variability, climate and climate change. We will find out the differences between variability and climate change. We will study major dynamic mechanisms in the planet. For instance, the one that has to do with the polar vortex and the jet stream. We will speak about new climate hazards for the European continent, which is compound events when we have heat waves and droughts at the same time. And in this case, we have mega fires when a fire takes place. Then we will speak about energy and climate change and speak about the role of renewable energy systems, which is a critical issue for green transition and reducing the emissions of greenhouse gases. We will speak about adaptation and mitigation, which are very important for policy making. Adaptation, mitigation is how to reduce the emissions, and adaptation is how to cope with the impacts of climate change. And we will find ways to understand how mitigation can cope with adaptation and have a double effect. We will speak about the cities. Cities are very important. 75% of the percentage of the population in the planet will be living in cities by 2040. So we have to speak about just and climate neutral cities and be able to develop adaptation plans for floods, for heat waves, and for other climate risks. It's very important to collect and use big data, satellite data. There's going to be a special course about the use of Earth observation for climate change, to monitor extreme weather events, to understand the land cover and land use, and to also gain information about oceanic mechanisms in the oceans. And then it's very important, and it was said in the beginning by Alastair, about climate policies and diplomacy. How do all these role in practical information for policymakers? How can we support negotiations at the international level in order to improve climate and mitigate climate change and adapt our cities and our countries to the climate risks? And this is very critical because it is scientific knowledge integrated in policy making. And then you will move to Tübingen. Reinhard has already spoke about it. You will meet your colleagues from environmental chemistry, and you will have semester number 3. And you will study the physics of the Earth's surface, which is very important to understand the whole processes that control climate at the planetary level, but also at different parts of the planet. You will speak about the modeling of the sustainable river management, extremely important, taking into consideration the reduction in rainfall in the last years and the fact that rivers support agriculture, they support transportation in many parts of the planet and in Europe. They also support energy industries with respect to cooling. So it's a very important topic for the development and the state of the climate stability in Europe and in other parts of the planet. A great aspect, glaciology, what is going to be the impact and the contribution of the Arctic and the Antarctic, what is the impact of climate change on these very specific, delicate parts of the planet that control the stability of different dynamic mechanisms into the atmosphere and also control a number of mechanisms in the oceans. And then it's very important to be able to understand how to use the data, which is very important because we have big data. So there's going to be a special course on data fusion, on data preprocessing, and the use of numerical analysis and artificial intelligence and machine learning in order to get the best from the data. And finally, global change, which is, let's say, the umbrella of the whole pathway, which will bring together all the climate risks, depending on the increase of temperature by 2030, 2040, 2050, and what are the impacts with respect to the humanity, nature, energy, transportation, development, and so on and so forth. A synopsis of the courses, again, is going to be at the University of Athens and at the University of Tübingen. And then we have to connect all these to each other. So this is the synopsis that you have seen already. In yellow color, it's the 2 semesters. We meet with the information and the knowledge that has been gained in Stockholm. And at the last semester, you have to choose one of the 3 universities, lovely Stockholm, vibrant Athens, and great Tübingen, in order to develop your master thesis. And at the end of this study track, which is the end of the pathway, you will have a thorough knowledge on the science of climate change and its wider links with environment, energy, society, economy, governance, and policies. You will be able to introduce science in support of policy making for mitigation and adaptation planning, and also to develop analytical thinking and synthetic ability on climate change, capacity to develop a research and development plan, and also to be able to gain information from different sources and different repositories of data. That is more skills with respect to data science. So this practically concludes study track 6. It is a study track which is very much aligned to a major international priority, that is to save the planet and save and reduce, mitigate climate change and all of its impacts. Thank you very much.